Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. In today's video, I want to review some of the latest data out of the car market. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So here's the map of the United States. This data comes from AutoTrader, is up through January of 2023, and it represents the cars that the US wants to buy. I'll go ahead and zoom in a little bit closer so you can see it. I'm sorry, Alaska. So if you're from Alaska, I'm sorry for cutting you out, just to make it a little bit easier to read. As you can see, about half of the United States, the car that people most want to buy is a Tesla, with Jeep coming in second, dominating the central states in the United States. All the red states are marked as Tesla, yellow is Jeep, and then you have other brands in Land Rover and Toyota in the orange and blue respectively. Tesla is the most sought after car in 25 states. And what's also very interesting about this data set is that these 25 states make up 64% of the US population. If we go back a couple, you can see that most of the population is obviously in the coast in the United States, and that's where Teslas right now appear to be the most popular. Now, if you've been following the Tesla story closely, you're probably not surprised to hear this data. This is an article that says that the Tesla Model Y registrations have been surging this year. Between January and May of 2023, Americans registered twice as many new Tesla Model Ys and SUVs as last year, and the Tesla Model Y also became the second best-selling vehicle overall in the United States as of April of 2023, second only to the Ford F-150. This is something we've covered in this channel, where Tesla has been performing extremely well in 2023, and now they went from the third best-selling car to the second best-selling car in the United States. Now, what's interesting to think about with this specific story is that this is where we are right now, but this is amongst a ramp out of Tesla's Austin factory that's still continuing. That factory is pushing out roughly 250,000 cars per year annualized, with more coming every single month. And the thing to keep in mind as that factory ramps up is that the cost to build a Tesla in Texas is going to be significantly lower than the Teslas that have been traditionally been built in California for the US market. The reason why is the cost of labor in Texas is significantly lower. They also have new production lines out of the Texas factory, which is going to enable them to produce cars at a cheaper rate and faster. And they also have a much bigger footprint out of their Texas facility, which means that they're going to be able to spread out more of the cost across every car they build, because they'll be able to build more cars in a bigger plant. So think of it as, you're pushing 200,000 cars in a smaller factory and it costs you $1 billion. But then that same factory, you could be pushing out 500,000 cars and it'll still cost you about $1 billion. Just theoretically speaking, $1 billion over 500,000 units, it's much less than $1 billion over 200,000 units. And this is where Tesla is going to benefit tremendously by building in Austin versus California. Then the other key thing to think about as well as we exit this year into next year is that the EV tax credit, the federal tax credit of $7,500, you're going to be able to start taking that at the point of sale starting in 2024. Whereas before, you would have to wait until your tax credit to come up at the end of the year. In 2024, the legislation is going to allow automakers to basically take this up front and then pass this on to consumers when they come in for a loan or lease, which is going to help people afford Teslas even greater into 2024 instead of waiting for that check at the end of the year. If you're enjoying this content, I would love it if you throw me a like. It helps the YouTube algorithm show this to more people. Thank you so much. And of course, as we're thinking about these different things that are happening, the domination that Tesla has had in the United States thus far is likely to continue, between more units coming out of Austin and cheaper pricing as more of those units come out. Now, I don't know if this means that at the end of the year, Tesla Model Y, Tesla Model 3 prices are going to go down, but Tesla will be able to sell more of them, that's for sure. And it's just dependent on how much demand there is out there for people wanting to buy Teslas. And if we keep track of the demand so far, half the country, their most sought after car is a Tesla. And it's breaking records left and right. But now let's continue to look further. What happens when the Cybertruck launches? This is Tesla's upcoming pickup truck. Now, in case you're not familiar, this is what the Cybertruck looks like. These are images from the latest Q2 earnings report that Tesla published last week. week. Here you can see it driving over some water. Here you can see it driving over some mud. You can see the wiper in action somewhat. But what's very interesting about these images, and what I find fascinating, is that if you overlay this with the map that we just saw, where we saw anything that wasn't really a Tesla, the Jeep was the most sought after car in those states. What do you think of a Jeep when you think about what its capabilities are? It's a lot of this stuff. Off-roading, tough, something that is unique looking. The Wrangler is one of the most iconic, popular cars out there. It has a huge community built around it. I don't know, this seems like it's squarely going for this middle portion here. So that's very fascinating to think about as Tesla ramps up the marketing for this vehicle and as they near production and deliveries here in the next couple months. It's much rumored that this truck will start shipping sometime in the next, say, 2 to 5 months as we near the end of the year. I'm going to do an in-depth video about the Cybertruck and the Jeep, comparing those two. I think there is a unique angle Tesla's taking here, and it's really worth exploring. But if we go even further out, if we go into 2025 into 2026, what happens when the compact car launches? This is Tesla's much rumored cheaper vehicle that will start somewhere around $25,000, somewhere between $25,000 and $30,000 is what most people are thinking. And this is before the EV tax credit, those EV federal credits that are in play in the United States. And again, that 2024 credit, that point of sale change that's going to start next year is a huge, huge deal for that specific vehicle, because when you're thinking about a $25,000, $30,000 car, and you apply a $7,500 discount on top of it, the monthly payments will be significantly cheaper once you start taking it at point of sale. $7,500 based on $25,000 is about 30% of the price basically being cut. And so folks will be able to experience somewhere between 25 to 30% lower monthly payments in that compact car versus the full price. Now, this is if Tesla doesn't increase the price and if they really do launch around that price bracket, which I expect them to do. So that's another thing to think through as Tesla continues into the next couple years and their market dominance in the United States. And the bigger thing to keep in mind as it relates to Tesla's dominance with that point of sale change and how they're coming out with cheaper products is a majority of the car market here in the United States are payment buyers. So these are people that are paying a monthly payment and they're trying to buy the most car out of, say, $400, $500. Let me know if that's you in the comment section below, or if you know somebody that purchases a car in that way. And so if you really go back and think about the current sort of environment that we're in with Tesla, Tesla is hugely successful with average selling prices of about $45,000, where half the country, half of the states in the United States, the Tesla is the most sought after car with just 4 models that they're offering. And most of that is because of the Model Y. And so what happens in the next 3 to 5 years as the Cybertruck and the compact car launches? Could the entire map be filled with Teslas? I don't know. And then you layer on top of that FSD, which is Tesla's full self-driving software that everybody's always talking about. Elon Musk is constantly hyping. I use it every single day. We just did a 1,700-mile road trip back from Pennsylvania rather, to Texas, and the car drove the whole way, but still not finished. So once it's finished, what is that going to do to the demand of Tesla vehicles? And is that map going to change in any way? I'll leave you with this. Twitter changed to X today. It's now called X. And one of the messages that Elon Musk put out there was painted black, talking about making the new Twitter, X in this case, all black, dark mode in the background, making it look black. And so you think about this map, and I'm wondering if Tesla will paint it red. Corny. Let me know. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Let me know about this trend that Auto Trader has shown us, and if you think this will continue. If you enjoyed this content, I would love it if you subscribe. I have a bunch of videos coming out every single day that cover the EV market, and I love talking about this stuff, and I love sharing it with you. Try to just get everybody up to speed on this stuff. So if you enjoyed this content, please hit subscribe. I really appreciate it. And real quick, if you want to support the channel, I just came out with new merch at new lower pricing. I was able to work with a supplier to to lower the pricing dramatically for merch. So I have new merch in the website description below, starting at $19.50 if you want to check it out. And then if you also want to support the channel by purchasing Athletic Greens, I have a coupon for that in the description below. Supplement I've been using every single day for years now. Free travel packs and vitamin D with your purchase in the description. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Really appreciate you. All right. Let me know if this was helpful and informative, and we'll see you on the next one. Take it easy, everybody. Bye-bye.